we just thought this was a much more reverent space and an opportunity to gather together to hold our very important Truth and Reconciliation liturgy together rather than in the classroom. So as we always do with our day, we're going to start with O Canada. Before you stand, I'm going to again invite you to stand. We're going to play O Canada in Korean. So please rise. Please be seated.
Welcome to the Truth and Reconciliation Commitment Liturgy. We gather today and acknowledge that we are all treaty people and are blessed to live and learn on Treaty 4 territory, the traditional homeland of the Cree, Saulteaux, Nakota, Dakota, Lakota, and Métis. We understand that this land was very important for Indigenous people who lived on it before us, that this land is still important for Indigenous people today, and that Indigenous ways of living with each other and their ways of relating to the Creator have always been connected to this land. For thousands of years, the First Nations and Métis nations sought to walk gently on this land. They assisted the first European travelers to this territory and shared their knowledge for survival in what was at times a harsh climate. We seek a new relationship with the original peoples of this land, one based in honor and a deep respect. Let us put ourselves in a prayerful space.
As we remember the Christ candle, we are reminded that Christ came into the world to be the light and inspiration to all peoples, and not just the select few. We are called to follow the light by living with respect for all creation. Let us give thanks to our Creator, for the Creator is always with us. You call us to be with you, whether we are inside in the shelter of these walls or outside in the shelter of your trees. We are here to answer that call.
Creator God, our country has journeyed for 8 years in the Truth and Reconciliation Commission process, seeking understanding, healing, and reconciliation. It has not always been an easy path, but we have sought to walk it together. We have tried to listen to each other's stories. We have sought to understand without judgment. We have noted the differences in values and traditions, but also the places where we share values and traditions. We are all your children. You embrace all in your love. You call us now to reflect that love to each other. You call us to be brothers and sisters on a path to reconciliation. Amen.
We must remember that the path toward reconciliation will forever change our lives. Reconciliation cannot happen without us, and it will change our own lives in such a way that we are born again. Let us now acknowledge Regina Catholic School's logo and reflect on our commitment for learning the truth and moving forward in reconciliation.
Sweet Craft Shake grass represents resilience, strength, and healing through thoughtful dialogue. When braided, each section of the braid signifies the mind, body, and spirit. Jesus, help us to be a pillar of strength for all those who are suffering. The eagle feather. It is believed that there is a sacred connection of the eagle to the Creator, and it has the ability to get the closest to heaven. The eagle feathers are used as a symbol of truth, power, and freedom. Divided into two parts, it represents the balance between light and dark.
The beads. The colored beads represent all people and communities uniting for truth and reconciliation, as beads tell a story within the First Nation, Métis, and Inuit cultures. They also represent storytelling, education, and intergenerational connection. The double row beads are placed in honor of the late Elder Mike Binet, so that we respectfully acknowledge the legacy he left behind in Regina Catholic School. Jesus, help us to recognize that we are all a gift from God and we must unite in solidarity. The circle. The circular shape represents the path of life as a continuous cycle of harmony, unity, and future movement towards healing. The red circular wheel represents the Indigenous people of the South as it is shown on the sacred Four Directions wheel. Jesus, help us to move forward in harmony. The flags. The three Aboriginal flags honor our First Nations, Inuit, and Métis families within the school division, along with the Reconciliation Saskatchewan flag. All four flags are shown in a cyclical formation going clockwise to illustrate the image of them flowing and being spiritually connected. Jesus, help us to appreciate and respect diversity in all our families and community so that we can do our part in creating an interdependent and fair society.
Central to the logo is the Regina Catholic Schools Circle of Voices First Nations, Inuit, and Métis Education Advisory Committee. This advisory body provides an opportunity for ongoing open dialogue between First Nations, Inuit, and Métis students and families within Regina Catholic Schools to ensure successful outcomes for all First Nations, Inuit, and Métis students. Jesus, help us to be open to work together for the common good and support all students without a voice. A reminder that we have all shared a collective history and a collective responsibility to actively engage in learning and understanding our Canadian Indigenous people, which is our commitment and the key to reconciliation. Jesus, help us to walk the path of reconciliation and healing within our Indigenous brothers and sisters.
Creator God, we give thanks that you speak to us in our own ways, in our own traditions. Thank you that you also speak through the traditions of others. Help us to see your love in all things and to be guided with loving hearts to do that, which is best in our homes and in our communities.
At this time, I'm honored to call forward Elder May Denny, who many of you know is a familiar face in our building. But Elder May has worked with our school division for over 10 years. She's a key and vital member of the Circle of Voices Advisory Committee that you heard mentioned. And exciting for her and for all of us that this Wednesday she's going to be recognized with the very prestigious honor as Distinguished Employee of Regina Catholic School Division. I invite Elder May to come say the Lord's Prayer and Cree.
That means our Lord's Prayer. No tawinan kitsigi sigogayain, pitani miwi tigati ukiwiwen. Pitani utsitsipau kitipitigiwen, kay sinatutagawayan kisigog, pitani gusiwas kitaskamig. Anots ka kisigag, minan nipagwisigan minan, minatatawa kisigagi, kay kasinamawitito, kagi may tutagwayago. Igusi isi wigati namawenan kagi may tutamag. Pisiski menan iga tamatsamapto ni tamag. Igati namawenan kamayatag. Ito nigusi ikik.
Great Creator God, who desires that all creation live in harmony and peace, Remember the children as we dream of a path of reconciliation, where apology from the heart leads to healing of the heart and the chance of restoring the circle, where justice walks with all, where respect leads to true partnership, and where the power to change comes from each heart. Hear our prayer of hope and guide us on a new and different path.
There were 6 years of meetings called the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, or the TRC, all over the country to listen to Indigenous people about how they were hurt. Now the meetings are long over, but that does not mean that the apology is over. Now we have to change. We have to stop hurting Indigenous peoples. Even now, Indigenous people do not have the same access to water, food, or housing. Even now, their schools do not get as much money, attention, or support as our school does. And even now, mines are built or oil drilled on land that belongs to Indigenous nations without even asking. We need changes. We need to respect all different nations, all different peoples. One of the Bible stories from the prophet Isaiah speaks to how when God was looking for someone to speak to everyone else about what is right, Isaiah said, "Here I am," and went on to speak to people about how they needed to change.
And that time is now. It's time to respond to the calls to action that have arisen from the collective voice of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. Our TRC logo, which is unveiled today, acts as a permanent reminder and a cause for reflection on our commitment to learning and truth, and ultimately moving forward in reconciliation. Your participation in the blanket exercises, your participation in activities in class are our starting point. So we must continue. And as mentioned, now that the TRC meetings are over, long over, it's our time to say, "Here I am." And to go out to the world speaking to people, ensuring that we treat the Indigenous people of Canada with deep respect and equality. So how about it? That is the challenge that's placed in front of us. Can we all say, "Here I am"? I simply respectfully ask you to join me in stating, just as Isaiah stated, after me, "Here I am. Here I am." I would like to do that with a little bit more vigor. "Here I am.
Here I am."
One more time. Together. Here I am. Please repeat after me. I'm going to try that again. Please repeat after me. "Here I am.
Here I am."
Thank you. And the reason why I repeat that over and over is because we can continue to talk about this all we want. We need to respond to the calls to action. And so again, even today's action is a small step. I want to thank you for your attentiveness, your incredible attentiveness. I welcome you to Catholic Education Week and to the remainder of the day where you're going to have faith-sharing sessions. As you leave today, I ask you to keep that in the back of your mind, that expectation that we've just created. That simple statement, "Here I am," is a real basic commitment. Whether you write that down on a piece of paper, whether you say it out loud, you still have to follow it. And so the people that joined us today, I cannot thank them enough for their role that they played. At the same time, now the role is placed on all of our shoulders. As you leave today, I'm going to ask you to quietly exit the gym in the order that we share. We're going to begin with the 2 side groups. There'll be a video playing in the background. I simply ask you as you wait to reflect on that, and again, enjoy your faith day. Thank you very much for your attentive participation. I'm going to ask the 2 side groups now if we can start to exit.
Yeah, go ahead.